What's up, everybody? This is Russell Brunson. Welcome to Marketing Secrets Podcast. Today I'm going to be covering day number 2 of the Funnel Hacking Live event. So the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs like us, who didn't cheat and take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pockets, how do we market in a way that lets us get our products and our services and the things that we believe in out to the world and yet still remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Russell Brunson, and welcome to Marketing Secrets. Hey everyone, so first off, I totally failed you all. I was planning on recording all these while I was at Disney with my kids and my family. While I was still top of mind, the problem was that Disney with my kids, my family was insane. So we did Disney day 1, we went to Magic Kingdom, and then day 2 we did Animal Kingdom, which was both awesome. We also paid for one of those guides that like go and butt you in the front of every line, which was really, really nice. Not gonna lie. Then we took a day off, but that day was like super even more hard. We had sick kids, and we had sun and fever, and I got sunburned. It was awesome. Then the next 2 days we went to the Harry Potter land and did that, and it was amazing. And then next day we flew out, and then now we're here. So I'm a little behind, but I still want to go through the last 3 days of Funnel Hacking Live because it was such an amazing experience. So last episode I talked about day number 1, which was we kicked off Funnel Hacking Live. I talked about going from 0 to million, million to 10, 10 to 100. Kaylin talked about building your culture. Natalie talked about vulnerability, and then I did my conversation domination presentation, which was showing you how to get your dream clients addictively binge watching you on every platform that you live on. And warning, this aggressive approach is only for those who truly believe in their message. So that was kind of a fun one. And then we did the Operation Underground Railroad, where we raised over $1 million. I think I told you guys that last episode. If not, spoiler alert, we raised over $1 million for Operation Underground Railroad. We showed the documentary, and it was amazing. So that was day number 1. And we were going to bed that night at about midnight. And I was just like, I'd been crying all night. It was so emotional and intense and amazing. I was like, how are we supposed to go on for day number 2? But the show must go on. So day number 2 started. Devon did what he always does and brings energy into the room, which was awesome. And then we started with actually World Tea Trade. And usually World Tea Trade, we do a big fundraiser for them. But unfortunately, we weren't able to this year because we were doing the project with Operation Underground Railroad. But inside ClickFunnels, a lot of people know this, but every time you have a funnel that goes live, which means it gets at least 100 visitors, we donate $1 towards World Tea Trade. And we save that up for the entire year, and we don't tell Stu and Amy, we keep it top secret. And then at Funnel Hacking Live, we give them a big check for that. And so this year's check was like $133,000. Is that the right number?
Yes.
Yeah, over $133,000. So they came on stage, we talked about World Tea Trade, they showed us a really cool video about it, and they gave them this huge check, which was really, really cool. And it was fun as Stu then took the check. He had to fly home that night. So through the airports, through baggage claim, and like videoed him taking the check home, which was really, really funny. So it was a big old huge check. So that was amazing. And then after that, then I did a presentation called Funnel Audibles. I think of all my presentations at this event, that was the one that people, I think, resonated the most. I was really proud of it. It took about 6 of us 4 days to like gather all the data to be able to show that and then create the presentation and everything. And I think it gave people hope that like, oh my gosh, this is not that hard. Like I could actually do this. And so I'm sure someday we'll make a front end product or a video or a book or I don't know, something because I think it was that powerful and that important. But it was really cool. I saw people like take notes like crazy, taking pictures of the thing, like gasping, and like it was really cool. I was proud of it. So the title was Funnel Audibles, How to Nail It So You Can Scale It. So I basically talked about how like most of my funnels when we first launched them don't have success. Like they kind of flop, and I showed a bunch. I'm like, this is the numbers. And most people like they create the first funnel and they launch it and it doesn't make money, and they're like, oh, this funnel thing's a scam. Russell's a scam. And the reality is it's like, no, it's all legit. You just have to understand you have to make audibles. And what was cool is that my dad was actually in the room. First Funnel Hacking Live he came to. So I actually had him come up on stage, and I shared a story about when I started wrestling I was wrestling my junior year, my plan was to win the state championship. My very first match, I wrestled this kid named Nick Fresquez, and he had taken 2nd place the year before, and he beat me pretty good. And I remember I was devastated. I wanted to pout. I wanted to tell people that wrestling was a scam and that the whole thing was, you know what I mean? But my dad filmed the match, and my dad was smart enough that night he watched the match over and over and over again. The next morning I woke up, and he's like, okay, here's what we got to do. And I was like, no, Dad, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I don't want to. He's like, no, we have to learn how to beat him. And so we started practicing, and we started practicing the moves and how to counter the moves he did against me, all sorts of stuff. And we did that every single day for 4 months until the state tournament. And in the state tournament, I actually ended up wrestling Nick Fresquez in the finals. And what's crazy is I actually ended up beating him with the same move he beat me with. And it was kind of crazy cool. So I told that story with my dad, which was really cool. Then he sat back down, and then I talked about funnels the same way. Most of our funnels don't work amazing the very first time out the gate. So you put them out the gate, and then it's like you drive some traffic to it, you see where all the numbers lie, and then you make the audibles, the tweaks and the changes. And I walked through what we did and why we did, and the psychology of like what we're looking for on each page, and it was really cool. And I showed the difference between like tripwire funnels versus webinar funnels versus high ticket funnels, like the tweaks and the changes we have based on those. Which was really cool. And then I actually had James P. Frill come on stage. He was talking about, he had a funnel called Rose Club for Men that he launched and completely bombed. It was like negative in the hole. And then he messaged me and I told him to make a couple tweaks. He made the tweaks and then it blew up, and then he kind of showed the stats, the numbers. And it was really, really cool to see how it was like these little tiny tweaks and changes. So that was my favorite presentations. I really enjoyed that one. It was awesome. Then after that, I had time to take a break, which was nice. I sat in the back green room, and I had a chance to watch a whole bunch of our Inner Circle members share their types of funnels. So first was Dean Hall, and he talked about the ultimate funnel, which are his free plus shipping funnels. And Dean and I have had a fun thing. He's been in my Inner Circle now for a couple years. And it's funny because like I'll do something, and he'll box me. He's like, Russell, wait, I just saw the thing you did. I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, that's awesome. So then he'll do it, and he tries to one-up me. He's like, well, I'm going to try this, and he does something else, and I'll see it, and I'm like, dude, Dean, you did that. And he's like, I know. We go back and forth. They keep one-upping each other. And so his business, his model is really simple. He's got free plus shipping, upsells, and then thank you page webinar. And that's kind of similar to what we're doing nowadays, and it's just really cool going back and forth. But it's so simple. It's so easy. And so he showed his ultimate funnel, and it was awesome. So the way he does his free plus shipping funnels are amazing. Next was Nick Dougherty. I always say his name wrong. Nick Dougherty. Did I say it right?
Nick Dougherty, yeah.
Dougherty. Boom, I got it. Anyway, maybe not. Sorry, Nick. I apologize. The GH silent. Anyway, it's confusing. So anyway, he used to work for a company called Truth About Cancer, and they've done a whole bunch of huge documentary funnels. They did a $20 million one on Truth About Cancer. They did the Truth About Vaccines. They've done Truth About Pet Cancer or pet vaccines and a bunch of other ones. And so he came up and talked about documentary funnels, which was really, really cool, especially since I'm building a documentary funnel right now for Operation Underground Railroad. So it's cool to see that. In fact, if you guys are Funnel University members, I recently funnel hacked the Truth About Cancer funnels. It's one of the newsletters in there, so you can go and see kind of behind the scenes. But he talked about the strategy and how they did it and the psychology and how it worked and why it worked. And it was really cool to see behind the scenes that. And Nick did an amazing job there. After that, Jason Flatten got up and talked about 3 different webinar funnels that he uses. Evergreen ones, NDA ones, live ones. It was really cool to kind of hear different ways to do webinars that he's done, which brought to my attention. He talked about he does an NDA webinar where you have to like sign an NDA to even get on the webinar, and it's a big deal, and it causes this intrigue. And it reminded me back in the day with Ripplin, we did this really cool thing where, yeah, it was really cool. In Ripplin, to join Ripplin, you had to sign an NDA to be able to get in, and it was this big NDA thing. Which was really, really cool. And so, we got 1.5 million members to join Ripplin through this NDA process, and kind of re-sparked my mind about that. So it got me excited. In fact, you may be seeing a secret NDA thing coming out in the near future, maybe. So that's exciting. Let's see. So that was Jason's. And we had lunch. After lunch, then Rachel Peterson came on stage, and Rachel's amazing. She's like 9 months pregnant. It's funny, like I asked her to speak, and then the next Inner Circle meeting I saw her, and she was pregnant. I'm like, oh, this is exciting. And then I was like, wait a minute, what day, like when's your due date? And she's like, I'm speaking on your stage. I'm not even gonna tell you my due date. So I didn't know when it was, I just knew it was close. And so she was up there on stage and she killed it. I think she had doctors and stuff she brought in the audience just in case she had a baby while she was on stage. Right before I met her, right before she went on stage, I gave her a hug and she's like, I hope my water breaks on stage. And I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. So Rachel got on stage and talked about the hidden funnel, the relationship funnel, how you build these relationships with your audience. Her story is amazing. Like she, 2 or 3 years ago, she wrote a blog post about her tiny wedding ring, and it was about how she was making money now, and a bunch of people were asking her, like, when is she gonna upgrade her ring? And she's like, I'm not, like, this symbolizes my love and my husband and my family and all this stuff. And it went crazy viral, had like, I don't know, 70 million reads before she got picked up by Today's Show and all these other things, and it was just crazy. And then her whole thing, she had this huge flood of insane traffic, and it was like, what do you do with all this? And it's like, if you transition to like a relationship funnel, like bringing them into this relationship with you, that's the magic, and that's the power. And her presentation was awesome. After that, my man, who I was the most nervous about speaking at Funnel Hacking Live, was Dave Lindenbaum. Dave's amazing. He had this intro rap that he spent like 2 or 3 months writing that introed him getting on stage. He came out and his energy is so high. And so anyway, he did an amazing job talking about redemption funnels. So what's a redemption funnel? I don't want to spoil the the surprise, but the concept behind it is brilliant. First time I heard him talk about this, I was like, dude, your brain thinks in a way that's different from anyone else I've ever met. So the redemption funnel was basically using sites like Groupon, and there's a lot of other ones, but Groupon's a good example, right? Where you sell something on Groupon, or you find other people who are selling things on Groupon, and then you give them your product as a bonus. So he sells kombucha kits. I never say it right. Kombucha kits. And so like he'll go and either he'll sell kombucha kits through Groupon, or he'll find other people selling similar things, and he'll give them on their thank you page after they buy the Groupon offer, like, hey, get a free kombucha kit. Which is basically a free plus shipping offer. And so people who already bought something on Groupon then come to redeem their free offer, which is a free plus shipping funnel, and then brings people in the funnel. And it's insane because it's basically getting the top buyers to come and redeem your free plus shipping, but they're coming because that's what they bought. The free plus shipping is how they're redeeming it. Anyway, it was brilliant and insanely good, and Dave is a genius. But he makes me nervous with a microphone in his hand. But he did he stick to his time?
Dave, I think
he was a little over, but he did good. We were very nervous about him sticking to his time, but he did awesome. After that, then Allison Prince got on stage. Allison didn't know what ClickFunnels or funnel hacking was a year ago. She came all in and she made the 2 Comma Club before we got there. And she did it by like building out an amazing case study first, and she did an amazing job telling her story. She is insanely cool, and she's just in the process now of selling off all her e-commerce businesses because she's having so much fun teaching people how to do the e-commerce stuff. She's got, I think 3 or 4 multi-million-dollar e-commerce businesses, and anyway, but she's enjoying this part of the process even more, which I tell people all the time. That e-commerce is awesome, but the info side is so much more rewarding, I think. And so she's doing a lot more coaching now, which is cool. And she's killing it. She had a goal to hit 2 Comma Club before she got on stage, and somehow magically she did it. She crushed it. So Allison was amazing. And after that, Myron Golden got on stage. And if you haven't heard Myron speak, you should just go search him on YouTube and listen to his Facebook. It's like I could listen to Myron speak for days and never get tired of him. It's amazing. So he got up and talked about 4 levels of value, which were so cool. I'm so grateful he shared that. Then after Myron got off stage, then James Barber, who is the Phantom of the Opera on Broadway, came and sang, which was cool. But not only did he sing, which was amazing, during his singing, we had a couple who actually came up on stage, and James actually brought the I'm gonna say wife, but it's not wife. Brought the girl up, sat her on stage, and sang to her. What's that? Soon to be fiance. That's what I say. Yeah, soon to be fiance. She came on stage and had him close. He had her close your eyes. I'm gonna sing to you. I want you to imagine this whole thing. So she had her eyes closed, and while we're doing that, then her boyfriend came up on stage, stood behind him, and then when he got done, he turned it around, and her boyfriend was there, and he dropped to her knee and proposed, which was so cool. And she said yes, luckily for all of us, because we were a little nervous. But she said yes, which was so cool, and that was awesome. So then after that, Todd and Ryan and me got on stage, and we did our multi-dimensional marketing presentation, which was all the new Actionetics MD, which stands for Actionetics Multidimensional, the new features in Actionetics. We showed it all. People went crazy, and it was really, really cool. So we showed that off, and you guys will hear more about that here soon. I'm not going to go deep into that because I don't want to ruin the surprise for those who, when you find out about it here in the future. But for everyone at the event, they got unlocked a whole bunch of cool features and things that they're all playing with right now. And then after that, we had roundtables. So we had, how many roundtables do we have?
48.
48 2 Comma Club members were sitting at a table, each at their own table, and you can come and ask them any questions you want. And I had people tell me that they would have paid $10,000 alone just for the roundtable sessions, because they're like, okay, I talked to this guy, and and it was cool because the coaches that were doing it were like, well, I'm really good at this, but if you need traffic, you should talk to this guy, and they'd run to that round table, and hey, that was good, but you should talk to this guy for this part, and they were running around, and everyone got a ton of value. So that was awesome. And that was day number 2. Isn't that crazy? We're 2 days in, I was just like, we've done more in 2 days than most events do in the entire event. And it was amazing. So that's kind of what day number 2 was. So day number 1, the theme was impact and income. Day number 2, the theme was one funnel away. So I talked about the Funnel Audibles. We've had people share a whole bunch of different types of funnels, from free plus shipping funnels, documentary funnels, webinar funnels, relationship funnels, redemption funnels, what to do before the funnel begins, the 4 levels of value, and then multidimensional follow-up funnels. So it was all about funnel strategy. It was all day number 2. And it was amazing. So the next podcast, I'll talk about day number 3, which was called the 2 Comma Club, how to get into the 2 Comma Club. And so how to go from $0 to $1 million before this time next year. So I'll talk about that during tomorrow's podcast. Thanks you guys for listening. Appreciate you all. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Want more marketing secrets? If so, then go get your copies of my 2 best-selling books. Book number 1 is called Expert Secrets, and you can get a free copy at expertsecrets.com. And book number 2 is called .com Secrets, and you can get your free copy at .comsecrets.com. Inside these 2 books, you'll find my top 35 secrets that we've used to become the fastest growing non-VC-backed SaaS startup company in the world.